Well, hello again, students. This is Professor Levy. It's my pleasure to work with you this semester on American history. And as you know from the beginning of the course, I try to communicate using different methods, including video. And so, what I'd like to talk about today is an exercise we have coming up in our course. In fact, our first online debate for the American Revolution. This is an exercise where I try to get students to engage each other on the issues that we've been discussing that led to the separation of the American colonies from Great Britain. Uh, what I would like to see in this exercise is for students to put themselves in the position of either the American colonists or in the position of the British. This is an intellectual exercise, so it doesn't really matter what you personally believe, but to put yourself in the position of those people, think about their issues, think about their arguments, and debate with each other as they did so passionately in the 18th century. What I hope to see in this debate is students exhibiting the passion of Patrick Henry, the eloquence of Thomas Jefferson, who drew so heavily from the Enlightenment philosophies of his day and attempted to apply those ideas to real political situations, or the mental agility and diplomatic skills of Benjamin Franklin, who tried to arbitrate and offer solutions that were ultimately rejected by both sides. I like students to have the perspective of women like Abigail Adams, of African Americans like Crispus Attucks. Consider well the economic issues of that period, which were as relevant to the economic issues we're facing in this economy today. Also, think about the emotional motives of the personalities involved, the psychological impact of events on both parties, so not just the event, but how that event affected how people felt and thought, the class motives of some of the participants, whether they were wealthy, whether they were merchants, whether they were Northerners, Southerners, the political class, ruling class in Great Britain. Also notice the amount of irony and contradictions that abound in the American Revolution. It was not lost on the founders that as they were fighting for their freedom, America was at the very time in the process of becoming the largest slave-owning society in the world. In this debate, all students are going to be either the affirmative side, and my advice to the affirmative team is that you represent the American position, which isn't a monolithic position, but certainly to go to all the various arguments that they would make. The negative side is the British, and you will be arguing that the American Revolution was not necessary and was not justified. That perhaps it was illegal, that they were traitors, that they were rebels, that they were disloyal, and you would make the arguments, the legal arguments, moral arguments, political arguments, as they existed from the British point of view, which are quite substantial, in fact. Also, I have the alternative side, and this is because often there are more than just two sides to an issue, the American and the British. I grant that the students who have the burden of being on the affirmative side have a harder row to plow, so to speak, because this is a hypothetical position. There is no alternative in the actual American Revolution, but you're looking at it from above events with an historical perspective back, and you could see all the mistakes that both the British made and mistakes that the Americans made, alternatives or options that were available to them by which either this conflict could have been resolved or that a peaceful and amicable separation between the United States and Great Britain could have occurred without a costly and bloody war, much like perhaps how Canada eventually separated from Great Britain, or Australia, or any of the other colonies that were once a part of the British Empire. So these are the kind of three positions. Anything that you find in the book, anything from my lectures and notes, anything from your outside research is all fair game in this debate. So I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to watching it and reading about it. Hope you're enjoying the course. Take care. Be well.